Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to a section called At the Bench, which is right below in memory of our friends. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, but just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. And I understand sometimes I can't get a word in myself. So be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your questions or state your comments. and by the way, you only can do this during a live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So come on in then, post your question or comment. And if it's not convenient for you to stay and watch those shows, come back and watch the replay. But at least I'll be able to read your question or comment, and we'll get an answer from our panel. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos, Saturday at John's, which that's not going to happen so often now that Sparky is in St. Louis, Missouri, but once in a while I'll be out there. But Sparky does do contest coverage and other things of interest. And so if you enjoy this stuff, model airplanes, that kind of stuff, please give us a thumbs up, and subscribe and comment and share the videos. All these activities help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. That's like going to Starbucks and buying a cup of coffee, a latte, or whatever they have over there once a month. Just do that once a month for us. That'll be great. And if you don't want to do that, just do the super chat, which is right over here below the chat box. You can donate any amount you like that way as well. Now, with your memberships, you'll get access to member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's channel. I'm in here twice a week to stream the show. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, because I don't really check this channel after I do the broadcast. I really don't come back except for set up another show. So go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And go there. And if you locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video that Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his beautiful and light Junar XL. You can see me watch. You can watch me fly the stunt pattern in front of. It was my first official flight at the Nats ever in my whole life. So I was on a big stage. Had a great time. And anyways, if you go there, you better see that. And if you have any comments or questions about the show, I'll be notified quickly on my cell phone, because that's my channel and this is not. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family friendly. In other words, Please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post a link at the Stunthangar forum. And I do get asked from time to time, how do I get into this meeting? I like what you guys do. I'm excited and I'm retread. Well, the only way to come in here, especially if I don't know you, is to go in through the forum, which is the stunthangar.com/SMF, and locate the at the bench. There's a link there I just posted with today's date. If you're not a member, you have to register and you have to give Sparky a chance to approve you, and then you'll be able to go to the at the bench. So let me go now to what I call the control panel. This is how I keep tabs on what's going on with the show. And I have 3 monitors that I kind of keep an eye on. Helps me keep an eye on everything. One monitor would not work, but this is how I've been doing it for almost 3 years. This September will be 3 years. And give me another moment here, and I'll be making my way to the control panel. Almost there. Hope everybody had a good week. We're heading into the weekend. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to Los Angeles County, actually. El Monte, South El Monte, and there's a park there called Whittier Narrows, and they're having a fly-in. And I've never been to a fly-in before. I've only been to contests, so this is gonna be neat. I think it's gonna be just kick back, fly planes, eat some food, and fellowship. So I'm looking forward to it. I have a new plane that I'm flying, though. I don't really haven't done the pattern on it yet. Took it out today and managed to do some loops, fly inverted, but that's about it. So hopefully I'll progress tomorrow. Looks like we have Tom Rammel in here first. Thank you, Tom. He gave us a like. Gary Sinclair is in here. Now, Gary is a member of our Stunthangar YouTube channel. He has the moniker of membership there. He also has a blue wrench. So be careful, because Gary can get you out of here. And then Tom Rammel says, hi, Gary. Today is my birthday. Hey, happy birthday, Tom. Happy birthday. And then Gary Sinclair says, happy birthday, Tom. And then Tom Rammel says, thank you. Awesome. Awesome. So let me see what's going on here. Hopefully we'll have some people join us. I did post a link, and hopefully the link is working. Let me see here. Did I post that link? I think I did. Oh, I didn't even post the link. There we go. I don't know what I did earlier. I didn't post the link. Hey, sorry, guys. If you guys been waiting, I know some people actually are waiting, looking for the link, and they're probably going, where's the link? Where's the link? Well, I just posted it. Sorry about that. I've been scrambling, running like my head cut off to get here. So I need to even calm down, just slow down, just chill. Now that we're in the process of having a great show. Anyways, oh, here comes Bob Whitley. Excellent, 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 excellent. Hey, Bob, how are you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good, Charles. Things are picking up nice.
Sorry, the link was late. I thought I had posted the link. Thank God I checked it, and I saw that I hadn't even posted it. I don't know what I clicked on earlier.
Sitting on it. No problem.
All right. So you feeling better, huh?
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. Really am.
Yeah, and weather's picking up around here, except for the winds. So hopefully get out and do some flying this week.
Some model flying?
Yeah, I've been full-size flying, but
yeah,
that's not the same.
No, it's not the same. So tell me, matter of fact, speaking of that, how is it different? I mean, for those like me, I've never flown a full aircraft. I've been flying model airplanes a long time. So what's the difference?
Well, the principles, the science is identical, but the big difference is you're sitting in it. With a model, if you crash it, you're okay.
Right.
In a full size, you're not.
Right.
So, but it's the sensory input is very different because, compared to control line where you have one movement that you're really doing, the elevator. So you're only controlling pitch.
Right.
Where you're controlling pitch, roll, yaw, and thrust. And they all couple together. So it's very different in that sense. Plus, there's just the physical sensation.
Right. So how about, have you flown some RC?
I've flown a little bit, but not much, but I'm going to get into it some. The bit that I've done is totally different to flying real airplanes too, because to me, it's more like a video game where you're detached from it. You're just moving an object with no feel sensory input for it. But yeah, on the RC side, I just inherited 2 more RC planes today, Falcon 56 and a 60 powered Cessna Cardinal model. And so I've got at least half a dozen RC planes now, 3 of which are pretty darn good trainers. So I might, well, I definitely will go out. I joined one of the radio control clubs that has a new field, and a bunch of my old friends from Control Line back in the 70s are with it. So that's why I picked that club.
Very good.
So it's just a different facet of the hobby.
Very good. Well, let me welcome some people, and I want to apologize, everybody. I thought I had clicked the link much sooner than I actually did, but come to find out, good thing I checked. I hadn't clicked on the link, so sorry about it being so late. And I think Mark came in after Bob. Hey, Mark Gerber, thank you for coming in. How you doing?
Hey, Charles. Good. How are you?
Doing well.
Hi,
Doing well. I'm glad we got a good crowd already. And then I think it was Brad LaPointe. Thank you, Brad, for coming in. Thank you so much. And then I think it was Gary Sinclair. Hey, Gary, thank you for coming in, Gary. Appreciate it. And Mark Wise, I'm not sure when you came in, but thank you, Mark, for coming in. And Ed, how you doing, Ed? Thanks for coming in, Ed.
Yeah, doing fine. For some reason, it was asking me for an ID number. And so I completely got out, waited a minute, and then came back in. It was no problem.
All right, good. Yes, the ID is probably the ID of this Zoom meeting, I think. I don't know. But
yeah, I copied it. I copied it before I tried again.
Cool. And then we have Keith Trossel. Hey, Keith, how are you doing this evening?
Good.
Oh,
Great.
I thought you thought I was Keith because I got the Keith Trossel glasses.
You got the Keith Trossel glasses? Yes, you do. Those are very cool, by the way. You're looking pretty good.
Thank you.
So you're on Circle 1, or where are you at?
I'm on Circle 1.
Circle 1. Are you getting ready to put up a flight?
Yeah, Randy Lang and I are here flying stunt.
All right. Hey, Randy, thanks for coming.
Hello.
Thanks for coming and showing up at the Howard Circle 1, the stunt ranch of Howard Rush.
Pretty amazing up here.
I bet. He said I'm welcome to come up there. I got to check it out sometime. It's just
Good.
a couple states away. I got to check it out.
Not that far.
Let me. I got something to show you. Well,
All right. Let me make you big here.
Make me big. And here's a Dean's connector that has failed.
Uh-oh.
You see that guy right there, the negative thing?
Yeah.
Broken on the top. And,
wow.
I'm going to use it anyhow, so it could be exciting.
So how old is that Dean's connector? How long has it been in use?
Oh, I don't know. I should keep track of these things, but not too long. Probably changed it out last year and haven't flown much with this airplane.
Okay. That's what I'm using as Dean connectors myself. I know that some people have switched to the XT60s, and but I'm still using Dean connectors.
Let's see. I need to. Okay, I'm gonna go fly some stunt.
All right, fly some stunt.
If it holds.
All righty. Let me see here. Hey, Tom Ramos here. Happy birthday. Today's Tom's birthday.
Thanks, Charles.
Hey, you're welcome, man.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, thanks for coming in on your birthday, man. That's quite a compliment to come in on your birthday. On a Friday night, too. I appreciate it. So obviously, Howard's doing some flying. Anybody else have done any flying or done any work in the shop?
Weather not cooperating other than one day, but couldn't do it and stuff.
Oh,
Just trying to get a
yeah.
few things ready to go. So when it does turn nice.
right. And what plane are you going to be flying?
Those foam trainer planes, I want to try to get those dialed in a little better. And then with the ring rats, probably go with a little bit longer and try spectrum lines and see about getting that. So if it's needed, I've got those ready to go here later on. And plus it'll give me a little bit of handle time, which I have not done much, because of, getting back into shape.
Yes.
Good deal.
Now, anybody else do any flying or done anything in the shop they want to talk about?
I've been working on the C-47 in the shop and working on the fuselage now. I've got several videos on my YouTube channel showing the progress that I'm making.
You want to shout out your YouTube channel again?
Yeah, it's just Tom Rammel with a space between Tom and Rammel. Rammel.
And I have to attest to it. I discovered your channel the other day, so I've been really enjoying watching your videos there, Tom.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I went flying with Joe Mata today. I have a new plane. It's called a Talon. I talked about it Monday, but I'm still, today I think I got 3 flights on it today. Still haven't done a full pattern yet. It's a little bit disconcerting on rollout because it tends to want to roll into the circle. And so that always has me on edge. And so I'm working it out, but I'm going to take it tomorrow up to Los Angeles County, up to the Woody and Arrows, the club, the Knights of the Round Circle. They're having a fly-in. And I'm looking forward to taking off and running back to keep the lines tight until I get it in the air. I'm going to try to work on it a little bit tonight after the show, but I'm not sure if I'll how successful I'll be at making it so it doesn't come into the circle completely. I did work on it a little bit and it was better, but it's still not where I want it to be. Hey, Ed, did you just raise your hand?
Yeah.
What's up?
It was funny. Dennis Adamison was talking about this glue.
Make you big here.
Yeah. This is what the free flight guys are using, and it's nitrocellulose. And I actually got that today. You guys were talking about it, and it's from Volare Model Products.
Oh, wow.
So in case anybody was interested.
And it looks very liquidy. Looks very, it's not as thick as glue I'm used to. Is it pretty thin?
Haven't used it yet.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of thin, which could be good for some applications, especially. So did you get on the internet or how did you get that? In a local hobby store or where did you get that?
Boy, I was just searching somewhere and somebody mentioned it. And so I just started typing in VPS glue. And it's actually called Amdroid glue. And it takes you to the Volare products website, and then it takes a little bit to try to find it in his menu and stuff.
And how much is it?
Oh, I think it was somewhere around $5 to $7 a bottle.
Okay. That's a cellulose glue, so it's kind of like Ambroid, like what we talked about Monday. Okay. Yeah. Oh, very cool.
So it'd be interesting to talk to because the tight bond, and ran into problems with if you didn't wipe the tight bond off and you're trying to sand some really soft balsa on, how it's hard to make it disappear, and not leave marks or ridges. So wanted to give it a try on the next one.
Good deal.
Very cool. I wish the camera was on the on circle one was located a little differently so we can see the maneuvers instead of being right in front of us. I wonder if that's his new dog or if that's the old dog. Anyways, let me get rid of this here. All right, so now we're back to the gallery. So did you do any flying, Brad? Did you go to the bean field or anything?
Stuart and I went out Wednesday. It was a nice day, kind of cool. Stuart's really coming along. He got through a whole pattern.
You did the whole pattern?
Well, pretty close.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Good for you.
Yeah, he's even getting the order down pretty well too. So yeah, he's really improved since last year.
Yeah. The Mac
Yes.
overlords have given us approval on our field finally.
Oh, really? Oh, great. So now there's 4 official fields that you know of?
No, there's 6 that are approved right now out of 15 control line fields.
I don't know if the Toronto field's ever going to get approved because they've got a lot of issues there.
Yeah, we're
Mark.
actually in a military control zone for ours, so it was probably a bit confusing for them too in the first place.
What about the military, Bob? I didn't quite understand.
Our model field is inside a aircraft control zone, full size, but it's military. It's not civilian, which all the problem was with Mac was all talking about civilian. But we did get our approval though, so
Oh, good.
basically they didn't know what the hell they were talking about.
That's what I get from Lynn and Brad and you. That Mags don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, well, Len and I and who the heck else? Paul in Giddle and Winnipeg. We're all on the National Advisory Board for Control Line. They won't listen to a damn thing from us.
Huh. Yeah. I was going to ask Mark a question. Hey, Mark, you made any progress on your Bearcat?
Yeah, I'm doing a final color cuts on it yesterday, the final one. I got something to show Ed here.
All right, show Ed.
He was asking questions about the canopy.
Oh, yeah.
There it is after the clear goes on it.
Oh, very good. Doesn't look frosty
lovely.
anymore.
It's beautiful.
Wow, that looks great. That clear coat really is making that paint job kick.
Well, how many times have you dinged the canopy a little bit and you were afraid to do anything to it? You know?
Yep.
That looks great.
Appreciate that.
As long as you can use really fine sandpaper, I think I used 1500 grit on it to dull it out. And then you put the clear on it, it fills in all the little tiny cracks and you get a really nice smooth surface. So
Wow.
That looks great. So you said final clear coat, so you're done finishing that model then, right?
well, it's got to put the flaps and elevators and rudder on it, and still have to paint the landing gear wells and a few other miscellaneous things. Our club, our Vet Associated Modelers, has an event Tuesday night. They call I Built It, and everybody's invited to bring their latest plane in and put it on display.
Oh, wow. That's
And
nice.
They hand out certificates to different categories.
You're
So-
going to go there and embarrass everyone else with that beautiful plane.
Well, I don't know. There's some pretty nice plane show up at that. Guys like Keith Strauss will bring their planes. And
Wow, very nice. That looks great, Mark. That looks
Yeah.
great.
Fantastic.
It
thanks.
really
Well,
does.
I'm looking forward to getting it done. And the weather's not looking great right now. This time of year in Colorado, you get everything. And we're having a lot of changing weather with a lot of wind and occasional moisture.
Mhm.
I told
Congrats.
somebody today, I said, I think we're only 2 snowstorms away from spring. So,
That's funny. Well, I'm glad that you was able to paint with all the weather. That's great. You still was able to get your final clear coat on there.
well, I find at this altitude, I've never had anything blush.
Okay.
And, this is a low humidity climate anyway. We occasionally get a higher humidity day, but it's not anything like back east when I used to be at sea level along the ocean.
Very nice. I want to ask Keith Trossel a question. Hey, Keith, I know that you got off the show Monday night. I imagine you went to go work on your big job, right?
Yeah,
So was you able to, what was you trying to do on Monday? I think you wanted to, there was something you wanted
I was
to, if you
getting
remember.
the cowl and motor mount set for the engine. Got that pretty well done. I'll go get it.
All right, thank you. I think, I wonder if I have a picture of my Talon on my computer here. I mean, to see if I can share this with you guys.
Charles, is that the classic Talon?
Yeah, it's that Joe, the guy name starts with a K. It's his plane. I didn't build it, but David Keith built it according to plans. He did change a little bit. I think the plan show an I-beam, but he did strip ribs instead of an I-beam. You make it
Yeah.
big, Keith. Just 1 second. Oh wow! Look at that cow.
Anyway, yeah,
You got
Cal
painted.
started carving on that yesterday. It's been a whole day process.
Wow.
Labor of love, I imagine.
Starting to look like a big job now with that.
Yeah, that looks
Yeah.
great.
Sure does.
And this thing weighs all of about 0.6 of an ounce.
Mm.
Wow,
Not much to it.
that's a rear exhaust motor or side
No.
exhaust.
Side exhaust, that's the way it's designed for air to go through that way.
Well, that's nice.
Here's front view. There we go.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That looks nice.
I don't think Keith knows how to build an airplane that isn't nice.
Yeah.
That's an interesting design, that's for sure.
Wow.
I'll get the hold downs on it tonight, and that part will be pretty well done. I'll get the cockpit and canopy working on. And another week or so, we'll start being able to do some paint.
No, the battery, yeah, the battery's in, but it's not armed.
Yeah, okay. So okay.
And again, this fuselage is so stiff.
Yeah, like the
I can tell it's stiff. I don't see any flexing at
No,
all.
there's no flex at all with this thing. It's just, you can do whatever you want. Little nose heavy right now. Right here's the balance point, and that's what it does.
Okay.
So it's gonna take a lot of paint. That'll all goes in the back. And
That looks really good. That looks really nice. You got some good wood on that plane. It just looks like that's beautiful wood.
yeah, this was a board that was weighted. It was like 6 pound stock, 7 pound stock. It's real firm and not pithy at all. So it's gonna hold up, I think, okay.
So then how do you fuel proof your cows? Do you use a
Everything on from the leading edge forward I put finishing resin on inside the cow, inside the engine compartment, and the whole cow. It gets all finishing resin brushed on and then wiped off. And then everything then starts with nitrate dope on all the surfaces, outside surfaces. And that's my finish process.
Very nice. Now, what is that thing you set your plane on? What is that green thing? What is that?
Oh, I just a cushion. It's real handy to use. Set the thing on
Yeah, it looks very, very handy.
so you don't ding the thing up sitting on the bench or whatever. It's what it sits on.
Is that used for all your airplanes, or do you have
Yeah.
more than one?
No, just use that as part of my workshop. I have several foam pads to hold the wingtips and all of that. And it's just a real handy way to hold the thing in place.
That is handy. It's nice and compact and small. I have something that I use, but mine's so huge because mine it supports the tail section of the plane, and it supports the wingtips and the nose of the plane. So it's pretty big, as opposed to where you did it right there. That's much more efficient.
Yeah, I've had a heck of a time with these things. Here on the nose, there's soft balsa wood, there's plywood, and basswood up here, and getting all that shaped and so forth.
Yeah.
Using sanding blocks judiciously, but still have bumps in here where the hardwood doesn't sand quite as well as what the balsa does. But up here is balsa wood, epoxy holding everything together, plywood doublers, the plywood former in here, and you see just a little bit of the maple motor mounts, showing in here too. So it's about four different kinds of wood in there. Some of it's really hard.
Yeah.
So what do you do to help that transition between the soft and the hard wood?
Use sanding blocks very carefully.
Yep.
Do you harden the soft wood like with CA?
No. It just work over the hardwood with the sanding blocks and press hard on that, and then don't press so hard when you're working over the balsa wood. So still got a ridge here. I'll work on it. And then the nose ring, there's 4 pieces of basswood, all cross grain, makes up this nose ring.
So it's laminated. You're laminated of basswood, the nose ring.
Yeah. Epoxy, everything in the nose is all epoxied.
Very good. I see Lynn Burrell is in the house. Hey, Lynn,
Hey,
thanks for
guys.
coming in.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Lynn.
Howdy.
Hello.
Hey, Mark Gerber, what's happening with your Bearcat?
Were you asleep?
I missed it, I guess.
Yeah, he put his final clear coat on. So now the canopy is translucent, clear, shiny, and the plane's shiny.
There it is. Great.
Yeah, I got some of the ink lines finished and I'm doing the miscellaneous stuff. I got the exhaust stacks to put in yet. Flaps, elevators, and a rudder to put on, and paint the landing gear wells and put the landing gear on it, put the motor in it, put the tank in it.
How do you build your elevators? Did we talk about that before?
I don't know.
Because Raby did his with the just a single, or not an elevator, I'm sorry, the stabilizer.
Yeah, right here, he folded that over.
Yeah, did you do that same thing?
No.
Oh,
I chickened out. I made a light framework
okay.
and then put 1/16 on top and bottom.
Well, I did that formed 16th-inch sheet, and that's all the stabilizer is on mine. And it's surprisingly strong once you put the ribs in it and the trailing edge on. It doesn't twist.
Well, you know, since we're using these end hinges, the piece of balsa had to machine to have that concave area in the back for the elevator to fit into the round edge of the front edge of the elevator.
Yeah,
That's a pretty big structural piece in itself right across here. So that really beefs up the stabilizer.
yeah. Can't wait to see it fly. Will you bring it up here to fly, or you got a place down there to fly? Or up there where you are?
Yeah, I think I'll probably take it over to there's a park. There's a bunch of soccer fields. Depends which day of the week it is. If it's during the week, I'll go over there. If it's weekend, I may go up to the school on the north end of town.
Yeah. Looking really good. You have any idea what weight's going to be?
No, I'm holding my breath. I was at 48 ounces before I started finishing. See what it comes out to.
Yeah.
The pilot added half an ounce by himself. So I wasn't too happy about that. But I guess you got to have a pilot.
They don't look right if it don't have a pilot.
I got something else here. I got something else here to show. Talking about
Please do.
adhesives. You see that?
Not yet.
Let's see. We stop sharing and start over. Now you see it?
Yeah. FabTech.
Yeah,
Fabrics,
FabTech. This is an adhesive that is very similar to Ambroid, and that stuff that Ed just showed was just thinner. And a friend of mine in Minneapolis found this. I guess he was just looking at the Aircraft Spruce and Specialty website. He's an RC flyer. And he got a pint of it, and he's put some of it in a tube and sent it to me. And I haven't had much chance to use it yet because I haven't been building anything. I've been in the finishing mode. But it's very similar to that stuff that Ed showed. It's like a slightly thinner version of Ambroid. And it's the amber color and the whole bit. I glued a couple pieces of balsa wood together, and it works great. So that's another alternative that's out there.
Mhm.
And what do we use instead of Ambroid realm? So it's called FabTech.
Price is right for what, that's 16 ounces for a pint?
Yeah, I mean, that'll last you for a long time.
And Sigma, I think, was about $7 for a 4-ounce tube or something like that.
Yeah, but like I said, I haven't had much chance to try it out yet, but I plan on doing it when I get building my P-47, which is my next project. So, all right.
What, P-47?
So Charles Parrott,
Okay,
it's like the one I already had, but I'm going to probably paint this one a different paint scheme. The last one I built in, I think it was 99 or 2000, and took it to VSC.
Raby had a design for a P-47. He never built one, I don't think, but he laid out the full-size pattern for one. Looks more like
Parrott's-
P-47
Parrott's-
than the Woolwich P-47.
Yeah, Billy's looked really good. The
Yeah.
Parrot one doesn't really look like a P-47 very much. It's kind of distorted, but it flies well.
So Mark Wise, what you been up to? You been doing any building or flying?
No and no. really because with what's coming up, I don't have time.
I understand.
You know, it's the little things. Joan All week starts in a week from Friday, I guess it is.
Wow.
And you know, that became a stunt cam at a contest because I was trying to get more people to come, and a lot of people don't come to fly-ins. And since the contest started, you know, we get maybe 50 people coming down to Triple Tree. So I've always tried to make it a little special, but it's difficult when the money that's paid by the pilots is an entry fee to the field and not a landing fee on the contest. So I've become fairly good at begging. I have a couple of friends, one right on here, Ed, who's been very generous. But it's a challenge if you want to keep the quality up and the money goes down. So I've tried something different this year. Instead of doing trophies, which were lucite in the past and very expensive, the guys are going to find out, some right now, that this year is going to be certificates. But I wanted them done well, so I found a printer who could do them. I thought the way they'd look good, and then you find the frames. And I'll show you the hat. I try to give everyone who enters the contest. I used to give them a shirt, but that becomes a real problem when people order the wrong size, or they don't come, or they bring extra people. And a hat just seems to, you know, you can adjust it to anybody. I'll grab one and show you what they look like.
Okay.
Yeah. And then about of course, we have the combat flying also this year, which would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I think Howard made a comment last time, and I just wanted to clear something up. Triple Tree, if you've never been there, there are places there that are very densely populated by pilots and helpers and visitors. That's really the main line. There's also a very busy electric main line. Where we fly, there's not a crowd within probably 1,000 feet of our circles. So when we fly combat, spectators are going to be way back. They're not going to be anywhere near. I mean, a combat plane would have to lose both lines and fly a heck of a long way to hurt somebody, because that's really important to us, the safety factor. So it looks like it's going well. 3 or 4 weeks later is Brodak, which is another 8 days. And 3 weeks after that is the Nats. So honestly, between the events, other than giving my wife a picture of what I look like, you know, there are times you just don't feel like going downstairs in the basement, you know, plus everything going on with Pampa. By the way, I mentioned Monday, I was hoping to get that suppliers list out. Well, I finished it the other night. Doing this kind of thing, you have to at some point say enough's enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just got to cut the cord and just say, I'm doing whatever's on there now. I cleaned it up. I made sure everything had a hyperlink. I sent it out with instructions to Chris Rudd, who's our webmaster. And I would think by Monday, maybe Tuesday at the latest, if you're a current Pampa member, you'll get it. Okay. And I've asked in my letter, I've asked people to get back to me if there's link that isn't correct, if something is wrong. Plus, what else do you know that I don't know? You know, what other sources should be on that?
Right.
And I hope to, it's a hope, maybe every 2 months updated. I don't think I'll be in a position to take organizations off there unless I'm told this company closed. But I think the more we have, the better it is, and they're by category. It's pretty specific. Even one category is 3 sources of where you can get silk. Okay, and not everyone uses that, but Howard was nice enough as one person to give me that information. Why not put it on there? So there's a lot of neat categories on there. There's some companies you'll be very familiar with, but you may not really understand everything they do. We go to a company, we buy something, and then we find out from other people, well, that company also does this and that. So working on that, 3 committees going, a lot of effort into the 50th anniversary banquet, which I think is just going to be just a lot of fun. And I think it's going to be a great night. We're probably at 60, maybe a little bit more than 60 tickets sold, which is ahead of projection. So I think we're going to end up over 100. But the room can handle it, thank goodness. And what else is going on? I talk to AMA pretty regularly. We're trying to, Dennis and Mark Gerber and Jim Hoffman put a lot of hours into clarifying and cleaning up old time stunt rules and judge's guide. And just about every district director now has given me their opinion of it. There's no one who's against it. So very shortly, we're going to make an announcement that this update is approved by PAMPA. Okay, and I think people are going to find a lot of consistency, less anxiety about what planes can be in there, what maneuvers can be in there, what the judge is supposed to do. I'd like to see that event really come back strong. I think it has a lot of appeal. It's a simpler airplane in terms of basic, in terms of control surfaces. I think we can get some people excited about old time stunt. So a lot of good things going on. Working on a 5-year plan. And one of the things that I need to wrestle a little bit with is our projects that PAMPA takes on solely. And should that be the property of PAMPA? In other words, this list of all these companies has really been a PAMPA project. And people say to me, well, shouldn't it be held to PAMPA as one of the advantages to being a PAMPA member? That's probably a pretty good argument for it.
Hmm? Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure that out. You don't want to hold back modeling, but at the same time, if someone says to you, why should I be paying $40 when everyone else gets the same stuff? That's not an easy answer, So I'm very optimistic. There are a lot of good things going on. Looking forward to the NAS, looking forward to the banquet, thanking these people who've made it possible for us, to be here 50 years later. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I miss building. I got some great projects down there. One only needs sanding and paint, and it's clear coat and more sanding, and there's just not time. I think if you're going to do this, you got to do it, and I like it. I enjoy being at the helm. I don't know if everyone enjoys me being at the helm, but it's not a popularity contest. It's, it's trying to move an organization that's been a little bit flat for a while. That's my soapbox speech.
Right.
But I would like to share one thing with you that has nothing to do with this. But I told this to a couple of people, the people that make my hats, and they had tears in their eyes after I told them. So I'll just tell you what the deal is. About 10 years ago, I signed up to be on LinkedIn, because I've had a consulting company for years. And I said, well, why don't I do that? So I went on LinkedIn and I completed my profile. And I have a fair amount of education, my undergraduate degree and my MBA. And then I actually did doctoral work, all but ABD, all but the dissertation, because I figured this is crazy. And it was a pretty good profile. I haven't looked at it in 9 years. Nothing's changed. So several months ago, I don't know what made me do this, but I looked at it again. And I found that I was missing one letter in part of my background, one letter out of a word. The phrase was the Washington Public Affairs Center. It's part of USC. And they have a campus in Washington, and that's where I was doing my doctoral work, Washington Public Affairs Center. When I looked at it, I'd left the L at a public, and it became the Washington Public Affairs Center. And it's been up there for 9 years. So now I add an L to everything, whatever the word is, I add an L. So just be
Very
careful
good.
what you post.
Yes.
So I'm the guy running Pampa. Just remember that.
Yes. Very
Yeah.
good.
So there you go.
That's funny. That's funny. Let me welcome Paul Taylor. Hey, Paul, how are you doing?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Paul.
What you been up to, Paul? You been flying or building?
Well, I had a little bit of a break from flying between the wind and the wild hogs down here. They just plowed up our flying field.
Wow.
So the hogs I think they're leaving. So our field's kind of getting back in shape, and I've been doing a little bit of traveling. So I always get a little a few cobwebs in if I lay off like a couple of weeks or something. But I went out Saturday. I fly with Mike Waldron down here, and so I went to his place and flew in his backyard last Saturday, and then Monday I just went out and stewed by myself. And then we're planning to go out again Tuesday. So hopefully the hogs won't come back.
So what are you flying? What plane are you flying?
Well, Mike has been very gracious. He gave me one of his old dogs, which is it's a Shrike.
Mhm.
It's set up for electric, and man, that thing flies incredible. It flies better than I can fly it. But I've slipped back down to my Vector that I've refinished 4 or 5 times. So I'm just kind of getting the cobwebs out. I may get Shrike back out Tuesday.
Very good. That's great.
I'm working on a ringmaster right now to try to get it ready for the roundup, and I'm going to go electric. I know that that's not supposed to happen on a ringmaster, but I got the motor mounts for it, and I shrunk it down a little bit so that it'll fit the ringmaster.
Oh, okay. Did you print that yourself?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Looks good.
So I do it a little bit different. It's like the Oki Air, but it doesn't have the guts. I use the metal mount that comes with the motor. And so this was a prototype. So I've got another one on the printer now. It'll be finished tonight. So that fits right into the Brodak kit. So I'm figuring it out, trying to figure out, I guess, how all the components are going to fit on the front of that ringmaster. Not a whole lot of room.
No, not a whole lot of room at all, but I know you'll make it work.
Yeah.
So how many cells are you going to be using for that system for the remaster?
Well, I don't know yet. I was thinking maybe a 3S or a 4S, but I think somebody posted up. I can't remember where. I've been asking questions, but I think Dennis Nunes says he does a 5S on his, but I just don't see it fitting on the nose of that ringmaster.
I think with those new cells, those new Amola cells, those new ones that Brent Williams is talking about, might even get away with 2S system for a small plane like a ringmaster.
What kind of batteries is that? The new stuff that they're doing? It's
Yeah,
not
they're lithium ion, and they're the ones that I'm thinking of. They're at 45 amps, and they're pretty big. They're about, well, they're 21,700. That's the size. So it's 21 centimeters in diameter and 70 in length. So they're a little bit bigger than the 1865s, but you get a lot more capacity. So you know, I'm going to hopefully just use a 4S in my SV11 and have greater capacity than I had with the 4S lithium polymers.
Well, I'm running 4S's in both the Vector and the Shrike. And I mean, I'm coming back with, I mean, I fly them almost to storage level.
Well, that's nice. I was going beyond storage level with my SV11. That's why I'm looking forward to the lithium ion. So when I come down, they will be much cooler and have, you know, not have depleted it went so far into the batteries. Brent Williams says building some 2S 4200 packs this weekend to start testing 1800 kV motor.
Interesting.
Thank you, Brent. And Philip Bailey gave us a like. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. It's just an idea. And you know that these new ones are like DUIs. You can put them together yourself.
Yeah, but don't you have to have like a spot welder or something?
Either a spot welder or soldering. I think Chris Cox solders. Will DeMauro is soldered about 120 of them and counting. And Brent Williams, I don't know how many he's done himself. I'm sure he's Brent, how many batteries have you made so far, Brent? Yeah, Brent has actually been helping me. I haven't done any soldering yet, but Brent has been keeping me in the loop with information, and I appreciate it. I just haven't put it together yet, but I'm not flying my SV11 either until I make some sort of cradle or saddle for my battery so the air can get all the way around it. Right now, I have it enclosed in an environment where it's surrounded by foam and the battery's not getting any ventilation, getting hot. And plus I go so far into it, it's just, I've ruined like 4 batteries and I can't afford to keep doing that. So until I make a saddle or cradle, I'm not going to fly my SV11, which I hope to do that soon, but I hope to do my precious balsa also. Yeah, so who haven't I asked what they've been doing? Lynn, how about you? I know that you've been taking a hiatus on building.
Yeah, I just got back to building today. Finally, I'm feeling better. So that's a good thing.
Oh, very good.
Naomi's feeling a little better. So we're on the mend. We're getting there.
Very good. Is Naomi right there, right next to you?
She's sleeping.
Okay. Well, tell her that Joe Mata appreciates the comments she made.
Okay.
Was it Monday or was it last Friday? But
Monday.
Yeah, it was encouraging. You know, you hear everybody's, you know, doing full patterns and can do, you know, 600 points and all that kind of stuff. And it's nice to hear someone else who's struggling along with you, you know. And so Joe was encouraged that, you know, you get a chance to feel, you can feel like it's just you, you know.
Yeah,
and
I can understand that some of the new guys can get lost in the shuffle, and I'm going to try and do my best in the future, even up here, to make the new guys feel more encouraged. I don't need any encouragement. Go ahead, Brad.
Lenny, I was telling the guys that Stuart and I went out Wednesday, and Stuart, he was flying really good.
That's awesome. Good
like
stuff.
He was like a couple of bad maneuvers away from doing a couple of patterns. I mean, he was flying really well.
That's awesome. Good for him. Oh, we'll keep working with him. Give him a couple more flights and bang up a couple more airplanes. He'll be in good shape.
Yeah.
I don't think that tutor's got any space for more good.
Yeah, it's had some serious flying on it over the years.
Yeah.
You know, Stu and I banged it a few times before.
Yeah.
Some planes you get tired of fixing and you just throw them away after a while. You know, you just like, Don't
Well,
want
they
to
get
fix
to
it
a
again.
certain point, right? They get to a point where it's like there's so much glue on this thing that the glue won't even stick to the glue. That's when it's time to say goodbye.
Right. I had a Banshee, and I shedded the wings off so many times from doing these lawn darts.
Yeah.
After a while, I just got tired. I tried to give it away. No one wanted it because I was giving it to them in pieces. It wasn't like a whole plane. I was like, you can just glue the wings back on. I've done that before at least 3 times.
I have a story that's something like that. Naomi's first ringmaster was originally my only ringmaster, and it was the only ringmaster in our club. Nobody else had a ringmaster back then. And we used it to fly at the ringmaster fly-a-thon one year. I've told you about that story. But anyway, we'll skip over that. Naomi flew so many flights and we had crashed that ringmaster so many times. The only original parts on it, the last time it was fixed, were the wingtips. The wingtips were the only thing left of the original airplane on one of her ringmasters. We had
Even the
replaced.
canopy?
Oh yeah, everything was gone. Like the canopy had long gone. It had been changed from a plastic canopy to a wood canopy way back in the order. But I mean, we had probably built 5 or 6 ringmasters out of various parts from that ringmaster. But at one point, I sort of went over it and thought, "Holy crap! The only original part left in this thing is the wingtips."
I understand that.
You just keep pulling stuff out, throw that away, make a new wing, rip that apart, put a new fuse on it, rip that apart, new tails on it. Oh, the wing's gone again. Rip that, build a new outboard wing on it again. You just keep doing it, and ultimately you're building about half an airplane every time. But that's okay. I'd rather build a half an airplane than a whole airplane.
Exactly. It's saving time.
Well, I was just
people-
given a couple of beaters. Yeah, I was just given a couple of beaters yesterday to go out and thrash and learn more.
Get at it.
Flight Streak Junior, and I think a Junior Skyray or something.
You know what the secret is to beaters, Bob? Don't make them pretty. You want those beaters to look as ugly as possible, because that way you'll go out and you'll literally fly the you-know-what out of them.
That's why I'm leaving
these.
Looks
nice. If it looks nice, you'll chicken out every time. So I don't want to break it. I don't want to break it.
Good point.
Breaking it. Let's all go out and break a few airplanes, learn the darn pattern, and then move on.
Yeah, these are not pretty. This one came with a Max 15 that seems pretty good. So it was missing the needle valve and Venturi, but Paul had one kicking around.
Yep.
And this one was the Flight Streak was missing the engine, but I've got I don't know, 3 or 4 Enya 15s, so I threw one of them on it. I've never flown a 15 size airplane, so I got to make up some lines for it and stuff, but no big deal.
Yeah.
Very cool.
12 or 15 Thou 52s, they'll fly great.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Let me get Mark Wise. He raised his hand digitally. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, my arm's tired.
I'm sorry.
If you just make me big for a second.
All right, make you big here.
I just want to show the hats.
Okay, cool.
There it is.
Oh wow,
nice.
It's all embroidered.
Really nice.
All embroidered. And then on the back, if I could get this right.
That's
Control
awesome.
line stunt. Oh man.
Cool.
And these people do it for me. The hat has really nice structure. And delivered, it was $17 a hat, which I think is pretty good.
That's pretty good. How many did you have to order though to get that price?
40.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah.
I like that hat. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a nice hat.
Yeah,
Thank
that crest kind of like my company logo.
And let me see. Look at Howard's hat. And Howard, there was a suggestion by Joe Mata. If you would turn your camera sideways, we get a landscape as opposed to a portrait.
Oh, there you go.
Was that say Hydra? Yeah, you're muted. We can't hear you, Howard. I muted you because you're talking to Randy.
It's Jimmy's B-36 that people have been talking about.
Great.
Oh, very cool.
Neat hat.
Thank you for turning your camera sideways. That looks better.
Yeah, it won't work though.
It won't work?
Well, it's down at a trough.
Okay. It's working. Looks good.
All right.
So
That's
Mark,
about it. Anyhow,
oh, sorry.
we go back to me.
All right, you gonna fly some more stunt?
Yeah.
All right, let's go fly
Good.
some more stunt.
Excellent.
All righty. And I want to welcome Philip Bailey and
Hey, Phil.
Robert Gore. Hey, Robert and Philip,
Robert.
how you guys doing?
Welcome.
Hey, guys.
Great, thank you.
Are you ready to share what you got, Bob Gore?
Yeah, if I can figure out how to do it.
Well, just bring it up on your screen first on your computer, and then hit the share button.
Let's see here.
Yeah, Bob's going to show us. We talked. When was it? Was it Monday when
Yeah, Monday.
had a show and tell with Dennis Nunes on how he does the Paul Walker flap adjuster. Well, Bob Gore did not know anything about Paul Walker, so he came up with something that he'd been using on 5 planes, and so that's what he's going to share with us how he does it.
Well, I've showed this sometime before, but okay, now I got something goofed up here. Share.
By the way, hi Tony, thanks for coming in. Tony Sambendetto.
Hello.
And Stuart Morrison says, can't get on tonight. Can't find at the bench on Stunthangar. It's right below in memory of our friends. Are you sure you're logged in, Stuart? Because if you're not logged in, when you come into Stunthangar, you won't see, it'll say welcome Stuart or something. So if you're not logged in.
Sometimes when it won't come in, just tap on Stunthangar at the top of the page and it'll take you back to Stunthangar. Then scroll down. I say scroll up because I take the page up, but scroll down till you get to it again and then push out the bench.
All right. You hear that, Stuart? Hopefully that'll work for you. And then Timothy DeBoard says, I haven't seen you in a long time, Timothy. He's a member of our YouTube channel. He says, I'm painting a smoothie and building a twister. Very good.
Beauty.
Well, I envy you. I'd like to build a smoothie. And then Stuart Morris said, yeah, logged in. If you're logged in, then at the bench should appear right below in memory of our friends. I know you know where it's at, but you've been in here more times than I can count. So what do you have going on, Bob Gore?
Well, I'm kind of lost here. I can't seem to get things moving where I need to be.
So you got the picture you want to share up.
Yeah, I got it up, but then I can't seem to find the Zoom meeting to get back and say share.
Okay, so down toward the bottom, if you move the cursor, maybe just near the taskbar, then you'll see these things pop up again. So just kind of float your cursor down toward the bottom of the screen.
Or press, hold Alt down and press Tab. Alt Tab. Alt Tab.
Okay. What the hell's Alt? Okay.
All else fails, you can go get Janet.
I think I'm going to back out for a while until I figure out what I'm doing here.
No problem. Yeah, when you figure it out, let me know.
Okay.
All righty.
Actually, while he's figuring that out, it's okay to show Mark something. Mark Weiss.
Yeah,
Yes,
go ahead.
Oh, we got someone else there with a nice airplane.
Yeah, it's Tony Sambendetto. We're looking at, let me make you big, Tony.
All right,
What
so
do you got there?
I got given this plane to me last weekend at the flying field
Oh, nice.
from a guy named Donald. He's been an AMA for his whole life. He's 78 years old.
Nice.
And he gave me this plane. He said he just didn't like the way it flew. So he gave it to me. And I'm like, well, I got a redhead I can put on it. So I got a redhead 35 on it, but I don't know the name of it. I know my dad has the exact same model and he calls it an eagle. So I don't know if this is like when they first started coming out with the gotcha models, if this is an original, but it's a foam wing with a spar right through the center. And I don't know the name of it. I was
You know,
just
I
wondering
think
if you guys knew it.
Mike Lonke, he built a slew of those. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, it's a Cartier. Look at Bob Gore, he's sharing.
There you go.
Sorry.
That's
I thought
okay.
Oh,
it'd be
that's
little-
nice.
Very good. Oh wow, that looks neat. Oh, that's that's very similar to the Bob McDonald design.
It is
that
very
right?
close to the Bob McDonald design.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. I like that.
Great job,
I like that.
Bob.
That's nice.
great.
That is nice.
Very nice.
It's easy enough to make if a guy decided, and to try it. And you can make modifications to it and still stay in this configuration, like if you wanted this part here pointing down, because in this position, you would want it like in a full fuselage airplane, and then just have a hole drilled in the side where you can get out this socket head.
Mhm.
And then on the profile, you might swing this around the other way, solder it into the other position to where maybe it would stick out of the wing on the underside. And I've found them to be really easy to work with, and they're substantial. I've piled up airplanes and don't seem to bother these things any at all, And
Very good, Bob.
I was just looking at the other design there, the Paul Walker design. The thing that bothered me the most was that piece of wood in between the two parts of it there. Just, I don't know, maybe it would just stick out of the wing on the underside. And I've found them to be really easy to work with, and they're substantial. I've piled up airplanes and don't seem to bother these things any at all.
I think we're getting a loop.
Very good. I was just looking at the other design there, the Paul Walker design. The thing that bothered me the most was that piece of wood in between.
Thank you very much. You got rid of the loop. That looks really good. Now, do you have a picture of your jig that you use to break? Did you braze this together? Or how did you put this together?
I silver soldered them together. I can you see this view here where I've got?
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
You could make the size of it smaller, make this thing narrower, and still have a whole bunch of adjustment.
Yeah, that looks really good. Wow, I really like that. Really like that.
But I just show the tail end. I've made the adjustable control horn for the elevator and all that kind of stuff. But anyhow, that's the stuff that because I've never seen what everybody does.
Yeah, I know.
I
So you
just
just
dreamed this stuff up on my own here.
so what's above the elevator horn? What's that above that? What's that? Yeah, that.
The adjustable rudder.
Okay, very neat. And this plane is your what plane is this?
Pathfinder.
It's a Pathfinder. Yeah.
Very nice, man. That's wow, Bob. It's really neat. I mean, that is really neat. Wow, really
Yeah,
neat.
I just thought I'd throw it out there just in case someone wanted to try something different.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I liked on the Paul Walker design, the fine adjustment. The trimming adjustment, you can do a real fine,
Right.
but I've not had any trouble getting where I wanted to go with this.
Have you tried this in a built-up ship?
Yes, I have it in a Vector. And it's worked very nicely.
Very nice,
Anyhow,
Bob. That is
I just
really good.
wanted to share that with people in case maybe they wanted to look at a different way of doing it.
Yeah, I think that's really neat. And obviously good minds think alike, because I have not held Bob McDonald's system, but Jim Hoffman was showing his a couple weeks ago, and it's kind of similar to that.
case the
Yeah.
person doesn't realize what they're looking at here, this main wire goes inside this piece of brass that I drilled all the way through. And then I shove it in almost halfway and flux it, inside and all on the rod and all that, and braze it up. So that's a really strong silver solder braze. And then on the other side, this one brazes in that outside plate. It sticks through and comes almost all the way through. So that's the pivot for this half. And then you just loosen the screw and move the two plates one way or the other, and you get a whole bunch of adjustment.
I really like it, Bob.
Very
Awesome.
nice.
Thank you very much for sharing. Very
Nice.
awesome.
You know.
Let me welcome a couple people here. Stuart Morris made it in here. I'm glad you're persistent, and you looks like John Miller is giving me a call. Let me see what John Miller is up to. Hey John, what's happening, man? Okay. Okay, good. Thank you very much.
We'll get everybody.
Okay. I gotta get back to the show, buddy, but so you're not gonna make it in tonight? Okay. All right. You take care, man. I'll talk to you later. All right, see you. Bye-bye. That was John Miller. He not gonna make it in tonight. You see here. So
Santa's probably playing a gig.
Stuart Morris, you made it in, and glad. Thank you for being persistent. Appreciate it. And then Bob Hunt. Hey Bob, thanks for coming in, Bob. Good to see you.
Been watching you on TV.
And then Jonathan Carradas, thank you for coming in. And Tryan, thank you for coming in. And Caffeine, thank you for coming in. We're up to 18 people.
Wow.
And that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I got interrupted from Tony. Tony, want to hold that plane up again, because maybe Bob or Jonathan or Tryan or
Here we go.
You might recognize that plane. Hang on just 1 second, Bob Whitley.
Can't see enough of it.
Let me make you big here. Anybody recognize what this plane might be? I think.
Yeah, I think that's a gotcha, isn't it? From
I think, yeah.
yeah,
And this is a later version, the RST.
Cartier's.
All right. All right, let me get to you.
I figured it was a gotcha. I thought it would be a gotcha.
Yeah, you gotcha. And then let me see yours,
Bob Whitley?
Bob Whitley.
Yeah,
this is a newer gotcha.
Well, this is the RST, the rugged stunt trainer.
Okay, very cool.
So a lot of similarities. This one's got an LA 40 on the nose.
Very
But,
good.
yeah, I was going to show Mark something too, Mark Wise.
Okay.
How's that one in the wind?
Actually, it's pretty good with a LA 40 on the nose. It pulls like a freight train.
Brent Williams he thinks it looks more like a Yuki 35. That gotcha, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
What?
Yeah.
Which one? Mine?
Yeah, yours, Tony. Yeah, there's a consensus of it might be a Yuki 35.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious because my dad has the exact same plane, and his is a blue. Little similarities, but little differences. This guy, I think, did a different a rudder on here. I think this was broken and he built that on. But as for the little tiny canopy, all of it was the same, but we don't know the name of it.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Phil Granderson's lineage, though, for the wing.
It didn't come with wheels. I think these are after. So
Yeah.
Somebody put that on. It was a slow combat.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well,
Was it Granderson or Cartier?
I would think Cartier. Looks
I
like
think you meant
Cartier.
Cartier, I think.
Cartier,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Unless Howard might know different. Howard, being part of the Jive combat team, he might have a different opinion.
Well, he's kind of busy flying.
Yeah. All righty.
Yeah, I was going to show Mark something here.
All right. Go ahead and
So
show
what
Mark
was
something.
it? Cartier?
Yeah,
was
Phil
it?
Cartier.
Yeah, I think it's
Phil
Phil Cartier.
Cartier it, and what was the name of it?
Gotcha 500 or something.
Yeah.
Oh, look who's here.
Yeah, Brent Williams is here.
Thank
Thank you, Brent, for coming in.
Hey, I've got a Yuki 35 right here. I'll show you.
Yeah, one
Hey.
second. Mark wants it. 1 second, Brent. Bob wants to show something to Mark. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, if you want to zero in on
On you.
me,
All
see
right.
his logo on his hat's kind of like my company logo.
It is.
Oh, yeah, very similar. Maybe the same company. Very cool.
It is. I like that, Bob. Thank you.
Very
Mhm.
cool. All right, and then let me see. And then Brent Williams. What do you have, Brent? What is that called?
This is a Yuki 35. So
I
What do you
have one
think,
of those.
Tony? You think that looks like what you had?
No, it's nothing like it.
Okay.
Yeah, the different. They're more. Those ones are more Barnstorm, or like that one has more flexed out wings. It's a foam wing body. The body looks the same. The fuselage looks very similar.
yeah, the bodies on these are spruce or pine or something like that, and just really weird, but small tail. Like the size of the tail on yours really looks reminiscent of this. So
It does. In fact, that one looks like more of my father's that he has, with the elevator being larger and the the stabilizer being larger and the elevator being smaller.
Yeah.
Or
Tony, did you say your mother's or did you say your brother's?
my father's.
Your
are your
father's.
lead
Okay.
outs external?
Yeah, so you see my my elevator's a lot bigger than my stabilizer.
Let me
your model,
rotate.
your stabilizer's a lot bigger than the elevator. And then the wings
that's
are a
too-
little bit more narrow at the
So
tips. Fold
how
out.
does your wing plug into like a saddle? Is there like a plywood saddle that it goes into?
I think they're glued right onto the side. To be honest with you, they're styrofoam.
Yeah. Well, who knows? There's a lot of ways to do these things. It could be a Phil Cartier gotcha type arrangement. So there's only so many ways to do it. So
Yeah, it kind of looks like his bell crank's internal on that one.
Yeah, it is.
Mine are external on the bottom on the RST.
yeah.
But I didn't really like that hardwood fuselage. I did 6 of them that way, and the last 2 I made, I laminated 1/4 inch with some carbon fiber in there and glassed them.
Yeah.
It just had too
It
much
should be
twist in it.
fun. I have the gas tank at the flying field tomorrow and the prop. So I'm gonna go rip it tomorrow. I flew it last weekend. It flew really good. Tight corners and everything. So it should be fun.
Very
Have
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
my
but
other-
didn't cost much.
Yeah,
I
perfect
actually
price.
I bought this motor, this redhead, for $5 at a thrift store.
At a thrift store?
Yeah.
A
Wow.
thrift store. Wow. I've
I-
never
I've
seen a
been-
control line
I've
motor in
been
a thrift
trying
store.
it. It runs good.
I've yet to see a control line motor in a thrift store.
Yeah, I got a whole box of stuff. You wanted to give it to me for $100, and I turned it down, and I feel bad about it because I should have. It had a whole bunch of tongue mufflers and all sorts of stuff in it. Another one of these, 25 of these. I don't know. I was an idiot.
Hey, it
Should've
might
bought
still
it.
be there. Not like control line motors are a hot commodity.
Yeah, he sold it to a guy that was very happy to get it. I know the guy personally, the
Very good.
owner. Yeah,
Very
I
cool.
crashed this week too.
You crashed this week?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, well, what'd you learn? Hopefully you learned something, hopefully.
Oh, definitely.
That's
I
the
learned
important
to
thing.
get a little bit higher. I learned to get just a little bit higher when you're going way up and you want to give a full down and go all the way around. You don't want to, you want to have enough air to get all the way around.
Yeah, you know what else you need to do? You need to move your arm with the plane going down. You got to move that arm. Unlike a inside loop where you can just give it up, it does a loop. When you do the outside loops, you got to move your arm. As the plane gets down toward the bottom, your arm needs to be low as well.
I rebuilt it, put it up in the air tonight. I did the first quarter of the pattern all the way up to the 8. And then I did that twice in a 4-minute flight and then played around with it. So it still flies really good after I rebuilt it, after I crashed it. I've
Okay.
crashed it a bunch of times.
Your controls move an equal amount in both directions, because that can really put a problem in trying to do a maneuver if you can't get all the control you need.
Actually, yeah. I got all the control I need. This is a flight streak and I didn't like the way it flew, so I added more elevator.
One thing you can do to make it turn better, seal the hinge gaps.
You know what? I think I'll do that. I have this Gorilla Tape stuff that works really good for that. This stuff is really good tape. I like it a lot.
I haven't tried it yet. How
Yeah,
wide is that tape?
it's about $9 at Ace Hardware, but this stuff is really thick and flexible and pliable, and it's really good tape. It's way better than packaging tape.
The operative word there, it's thick. You don't want it thick. You want it thin. Try Scotch brand gift wrapping tape. Comes in a purple container, purple label on the container. That's the best stuff I've ever used.
Oh yeah.
You want it very thin. You don't want thick tape.
Well, I was thinking about durability.
It'll hold up. You just don't want something thick because it's going to inhibit control.
Oh, I see. Got my soldering iron stuck to it. So I started out using this stuff.
Yeah, how wide is that tape? 1 3/4?
That'd be 2 inches probably.
That's pretty wide.
You don't need that much.
Yeah, I started out using, not for hinges, but just for my repairs. And then I found that stuff. So the hinge tape, you'd use the small packaging tape and whatnot. I get it.
Yeah, the kind of size, like 1 inch wide or out of it at a tape dispenser, you know.
Yeah.
I might have a tape dispenser somewhere. Let me look. We'll check it out. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, but that's not the stuff.
You want the purple?
Yeah, you want the stuff called Scotch gift wrapping tape.
Okay.
Yeah, control liners are very specific.
No, I get it.
We're anal. We're really anal.
Yeah.
Or even pubic, as Mark would say. I caught that on TV before.
You said pubic?
Well, he had his LinkedIn. He made a misspelling on his LinkedIn.
Yes.
Instead of public, he said pubic.
Yes. Very good, Bob. Oh, very good. So you really was watching. Thank you.
I was watching. I just had to come in and tweak Mark's mustache on that one.
Thank you. It looks like Steve Hines is in the house. Thanks for coming in, Steve.
Yeah, I just wanted to let Tony know that's an eliminator.
An eliminator?
And at Brodak, John gave away a couple dozen of them. I brought like 3 of them home, but they're an eliminator. Somebody from the East, the East Coast or whatever, that was a slow combat. Same color and everything. That orange. But,
all right.
I got one with a AMA number on it, but it's back behind a lot of stuff and I didn't want to dig it out, but.
Cool.
Thanks for coming in, Steve. I appreciate that.
Eliminator.
The eliminator. And I don't know who made the eliminator. Mike Long, I think knows. So I think I gave the 2 of them to him, I believe, here last year when I was giving all that stuff away. But yeah, this one eliminator.
So what do you got there, Brent? What are you showing us? What is that, Brent? Looks pretty.
It is a Crossfire. It's called Dave Dennison up in Portland built this. He called it the Finesse E, the Finesse, but it's a Crossfire hidden in here. So about that.
Wow, I want to build one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but
You're funny.
I'm switching it over from it's set up for 5S right now, and I don't have any 5S batteries, so I'm going to set it up for my 6S lithium ion stuff. So put a 580 kV badass in it. So should be kind of fun. Looking forward to it.
I like those wheels, those yellow wheels. Those are neat looking.
Pretty fancy. It's all monocoat. Dave did is really quite talented with monocoat jobs. And
No kidding, that looks great.
So Brett, have you flown any of the other ones with that 580 yet?
Oh yeah, that flies great. Yeah, I flew it down in Vegas at the contest down there, and it charged right along just fine. I used a badass 12.6 prop and the 580 kV motor on 6S, and it was awesome. So,
how does it do on battery? Is it better than the 640 or whatever that other one is?
You know, the only reason you need to run a 710 is if you're going to run an Igor prop, you know, and you need to be able to get it up to, you know, 10,500 or 11,000 RPM or whatever guys are flying, you know, the 3-blade Igor prop out. If you're going to fly a, you know, a traditional 12.6 2-blade setup, you don't need that much KV. So that's why the 580 motor came to pass, is that just more of a traditional, I don't know, older generation of electric. I don't know. It's if you're not running the Igor system, it's more in line with what most people would run. So, but as far as the power use, I was landing at 3.6 volts. So it's just barely at like storage voltage. You know, it wasn't going very deep. You can take these batteries clear down to 2.7 or 2.8.
Yeah.
And so with that in mind, it wasn't sweating at all, you know. So
I just thought that that'd be a better KV for 6L, and I haven't tried it yet.
That is very close to what I run.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll run with. I believe it'll run better with the Igor or any of them like that, and it's more in line with the KV you need for a 6L.
Yep, it works really well.
Yes. I'm using a 510 kV on my plane and with a 12.6 2-blade prop, and I'm barely using half the battery pack.
Yeah.
Yep.
I actually ended up charging my batteries to 4.15 volts instead of 4.2. So I'm undercharging the batteries.
Yeah.
That way I get more cycles out of it.
Yeah. That's what I figured too. I mean, you're seeing that in most all RC and drones and all that kind of stuff. They're using less KV for a 6L. I mean, we kind of just over RPM our motors and stuff, you know, for electric, because their torque is down lower. I mean,
yeah,
we tend to run them. We tend to run an electric motor wrong, you know. That'd be
they're
like
more efficient at low RPM.
Right. That'd be like trying to wind out a Tesla or something, you know. They set the motors for what they got and how it's more efficient, and you get the most torque out of your motors. We're still locked into trying to run them like we do a IC motor.
Yes. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, we can't get it out of our head that a battery power is not IC power. It's different.
Yep. This 6S is great to run. You know, they run cool. On a 50 amp ESC, everything was cool to the touch, and it's a nice way to run. So there's some definite advantages to it, that's for sure. So,
hey Brent.
Yep.
How did you make that workbench that it's on?
Well, Christ, you know, Dodge made it back in 1966, so it's a.
Was the hood of your car?
Yeah, I've got it on the back of my hot rod. So.
You couldn't even tell it was a car.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, now I can tell. Yeah, very cool. Very cool building table.
Good eye. So.
Yeah, John did
easy to clean.
You must gonna repaint that. since you don't really care about the paint job?
Well, it's mainly just sitting on here. I don't build out here. I just it with the long winter, you know, you kind of throw stuff in the garage, close the door, and forget about it for 6 months. So we're just barely emerging from winter. So
make a suggestion on a not that get the wrong thing up there. Make a suggestion on a Crossfire paint scheme. Let's see if I can make this work.
Bronze?
Yeah.
What's that?
Some bronze paint for
Bronze?
No, it's not bronze. I don't know if I can get this or not. Keep bringing the wrong one up. It's all right. No big deal.
You're just a little bit rusty.
Yeah, I'm very rusty.
Try again, Bob. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, I want to see it.
What's that?
Yeah, try to share what you're sharing or trying to share again.
I don't know if I can. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can do this.
Yeah, bring it up first and then hit share.
Let's see. I keep coming up with Les McDonald. Are you seeing that?
No.
Okay. Keeps coming up with the wrong one. Hold on a second. I'll do it another way.
Okay.
So anyway, haven't seen anybody in a while. Been busy.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad you came in, Bob. Appreciate it.
Bob, you seem to keep up with several people very well. How is Les doing?
Actually, hold on a second. I will read you a email. Okay.
Well, he got pretty banged up in that bike wreck. I was worried he wasn't going to be able to make it to the mats.
This is an email entitled "Where I Am Right Now." Let me take this off here.
Just crashed my bike, break a few bones, heal up, and ride into the sunset, did you? For me, it's never that simple. As you all know, I did crash my bike, break a few bones. I did kind of heal up. But if you recall, several weeks ago, I had mentioned that I needed to do some tests because I felt crappy all the time. Well, some of the tests are in, and here's how that went. On 4/3, I did a blood test and a chest x-ray. The blood work showed me somewhat dehydrated, and x-ray showed something very faint in the bottom of my right lung. That is not a good thing for someone as myself that has already had a third of a lung removed for cancer. I came home from that visit a bit discouraged and drowned myself in pedalite. On 4/7, I did an ultrasound to check my kidneys and liver. I will admit I was really concerned that my cancer had returned. I've been in that place before, and the thoughts that run through your head are mostly planning for the abbreviated future. It's not fun. On 4/10, I went for all the telling CT scan, and then on 4/18, a visit for the results. No cancer. To say we were relieved would be an understatement. Okay, then what did it find? Would you believe I have pneumonia? That's great, but what about my goofy vision and dizziness? I do have a concussion. I know I didn't hit my head very hard during the crash, but I may have hit it when I passed out later that same night in our kitchen. Let's find out. The doctor says so. I'm waiting for a brain scan.
Now, who is this? Les
McDonald.
Les McDonald.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be okay, I think. He's tough.
He is a tough cookie.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
I don't think you would mind.
I had no idea Les had cancer. That's a.
Oh yeah, he had a part of a lung removal about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So.
And my wife went through that, and I'm telling you what, he and my wife both are tough cookies. That is rough.
Yeah. Let me ask Tryon. Is he still here? Hey, Tryon, what's been going on with you?
No, just same old. I'm okay. But just this past week, I was thinking about the beginner control line planes, and then my thoughts turned towards the profile planes and how the nose vibrates on them and stuff like that. And then I was like, I'm going like, I came up with some new ideas, and I was like, why didn't I think about this before? So the one thing that I didn't think about it before is that, you know how in profile planes, they're usually heavy because the fuselage build is heavy, and they vibrate a lot because the nose construction is kind of thin and whatever, right?
Right.
And then I was thinking about like, what would be a lightweight fuselage construction that's going to be nice and rigid and pretty much bulletproof for beginners. And my thoughts were turning towards the Home Depot foam, which you can find them anywhere. And I said, I was thinking if you make just the nose out of balsa wood, put foam behind it, and put a stick on top and the bottom of the foam, you can just sand the whole block with, with sanding paper, make it like a nice a flat sheet, right? And then I was thinking, after that you can put like a 1/64 plywood on top of it, which is very lightweight and it's very rigid. So it's going to give you a very stiff back section of the fuselage. And as for the nose, I was thinking instead of using doublers, the usual suspects that we use right now, probably a far better choice would be to introduce the 1mm carbon fiber sheets, which you can get like for $17 from Amazon. So you have 1mm carbon fiber left and right plating on top of that 1/64 plywood as doublers for the nose. I mean, that thing will never break and it's so rigid to the point, like if you can do, that's for an IC iteration, right? So those are just, my mind is just going different places. That's all.
No problem. Have you flown lately?
Yes. Yeah, I did that. I did go out flying, and I found out that Tuesday when I went to go fly again in the afternoon, I'm taking my son to a class which is from 6 to 8 in the evening, and I said, well, I can charge 4 batteries and just sneak out, leave him over there, and then sneak out on a local flying field, which is not too far away from there, and just burn in 4 or 5 flights, in that time, and still make it back with plenty of time to spare. So
very, very cool.
But then when I tried to charge my batteries, my Thunderbolt charger just pooped on me because it just wouldn't charge the batteries. It wouldn't power up. I can power it up from the battery side, but I can't power it up from the AC from the wall.
Oh.
And I was like, what the heck,
Yeah.
I didn't even use that much to say like I'm abusing it or anything like that. So I'm kind of disappointed after I spent $200 on that thing.
Yeah. Well, if you know a good electronic technician, they might be able to fix it. It's probably a power transistor.
I have a question. Ed, is that a park cat?
Yeah. But this is what Bob did. How many years ago, Bob?
More than I want to remember. Actually, it was Dick Sarpolis and I did that together.
That looks good.
We designed that airplane. He came up one morning because we used to fly. He had a whole bunch of these, and he'd bring them up, and we fly in my backyard. And then one day he came up, and we decided to design, build, and test fly an airplane in one day. And then we came up with the Park Cat. Did it all in one day.
Wow,
nice.
I put landing gear on it.
How thick is that wing?
What is it? About 38 inches, I think.
He said thick. I think about 3/16, is it? The Depron?
Well, this is a 1/4 inch and this is Depron.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's right at about 36 inches.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
cool.
stand by. Stand by. About 38, 39 inches. But what I did, Bob, is I blew up what I found on Park Pilot. So this might be slightly bigger or slightly smaller than the original.
It looks a little bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
I like how tall the fuselage is.
I'm sorry?
I like how tall the fuselage is.
Yeah. And that's so the other one though that he has also, the next one has lightning holes here. Because it was kind of an overkill. And so this is to try to show the youth out there. Once I get them tuned in pretty good, and that's what I'll be doing the next nice weather, is trying to get these to where they're flying, is the speed right, and I've looped them so far, and that's been about it.
Here's the original one, which I fly in my backyard and do the entire pattern laying on my back.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I did. I put the lightning holes on the second one that I built.
Yeah, this thing flies great. We still fly it. That thing just keeps coming back. It's really a nice little airplane.
So you lay on your back and you do the whole pattern up at the top of the hemisphere, right?
Yep,
Right,
I
Bob?
can do everything. It's just an amazing airplane for backyard flying. You can do anything in the book with it. You can actually practice stunt flying with it, bottoms and everything.
What size lines?
I'm using 35 foot. We have it right now on 8,000 solids.
Yeah, I'm going to be trying the Spectrum.
Yeah, that'll work
Fine.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have to have about a spool of about 8,000 feet of 8,000th line. So
Wow.
I'm using it up.
Yeah. So once I get some more testing, I'll let you guys see what you think. And
Yeah, I like it already. It
will
looks
do.
great.
I've got a possible couple new students to try to show them control line. I met the one father today at an event, and I have another one that seems to be interested. So I wanted something that fairly easy to make and was cheap to make.
Right.
You know,
how much
just like
you
you said,
have
Bob.
invested in that?
I'm sorry.
How much do you have invested in that plane?
I think maybe total would be maybe 100, just under or just over.
Nice.
And now I've got a running list. So if it was successful, I was running and keeping track of everything that I spent money on and how much was it.
Yeah. That's the
Just
one
for
question.
instance, if this motor works out right, they were $9. It's a 2212, 2200 kV. Yeah, there you go.
Rollers to it.
Wow, that's neat.
So Bob, what are we looking there? Spruce wood for the sticks,
Yeah, that's
64
bass.
plywood.
We actually use basswood, and basswood worked fine for what we were doing. For the longitudinal stick in the fuselage and the one in the spar in the wing. And it was 1/32 or 1/64 doublers, I believe. I'm not sure. I forgot. But that was like a whole day to design, cut out all the parts, glue them all together, put a motor in it and everything, and test fly it. It was a long day.
That is awesome, man.
Oh,
And while I have you, Big Ed, I got the email from you because I asked you a couple of weeks ago about, the average pay in aviation and, how this model aviation can transition to maybe a career in aviation, right?
Right.
And so the list you gave me, a pilot, a commercial airline pilot, this is annual potential earnings is 200,000, flight attendant, 83,000, aircraft avionic technician, 70,000, ground crew, fueling, baggage handling, 45,000, gate agent, security, airfield operations, 62,000, air traffic controller, 92,000. So these careers are just a few of examples available to.
And if you notice the year from the stats, I think 2021.
2021, yeah.
Yeah, so it's gone up since then. And that so any school teacher that I deal with or any college I deal with, they really like to see that.
Yeah, that'd be a great way to recruit or maybe help us get flying sites. They'd say, look, this is what model aviation can lend itself to a career in aviation. So
well, and for my expo, like I said before, I have just for West Virginia, people that are heavy into the aerospace industry that are model aviators, and also worldwide in the U.S., who is still in model aviation, but who's giving us all this interesting designing and development of the industry and stuff. So it's getting the attention and stuff. I've got 1,200 high school kids next week to see, just south of me, that they've asked companies to come and talk about your company. And I always show them how getting started in it at an earlier age is what got me going. And I was at a engineering high school class today about designing rockets. Was this one? And when we talked about model airplanes, rockets, and all that, not one had any experience if it wasn't for somebody showing them here in the area. So as you guys are saying, this is something that, you know, we really need to get out and push and make it happen. The interest is there. They're just looking.
Yeah, and little kids, the boys, I mean, maybe girls too, but little boys, I see that the excitement, they love watching me fly, and this could be something we could use to get the parents. This is something that can work out, you know. So maybe we can use this information. I might just print this and put it in my flight box.
And today, what I was going to the high school for is I had a leftover discovery flight from the college flight school that some lady did not want to have somebody flying her around for a discovery flight. And so in talking with the engineering teacher, I said to Raph, I says, he did a special essay on who wants to be a pilot and why. And the winner was a young girl that won a free discovery flight with the college in a Cessna. So, and it was covered by the newspaper. So that'll be interesting to hear what they have to say and stuff.
Really? Absolutely.
Nice.
Very cool.
Very
Well,
nice.
thank you for sending me that information. I appreciate it, Ed. Thank you.
Yeah, when I get some update, I'll do that. I just didn't know how to share it, doing Zoom meetings before, so I'm learning as we go and stuff. So,
yeah, I am. Well, I'm gonna have a student this summer too. He's very interested to learn how to build a plane and stuff like that. So, I suggested to start with a ring rat, the 250, the larger one, simply because it just looks like it's a very decent plane to fly. I think Mark was using one of those to teach people how to fly the 333.
Yeah.
And I know it's stable, it's good flying plane and stuff like that, easy to build, and at least to have some kind of build, experience, right? Building experience is not, That being said, I'd love to see, maybe Bob, you can share with me in private chat or whatever, maybe some numbers off of your Depron plane. I'll be very, very interested in that.
Well, plans are available for that from Park Pilot. It was published in Park Pilot, which is, AMA magazine.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I had trouble trying to figure out how to buy them and stuff, and so I just kind of just went from there and drew stuff up myself.
Yeah.
A month from now, I'll be in charge of flying about 200 kids for discovery flights. So I'm going to try and get some model airplane and control line encouragement there, at least this place and stuff. Probably won't be able to do demo flights, but their parents will also be with them. And we found that's key, is to get the parents involved.
Yeah, you're educating the parents more than anything else.
I want to do a true confessions thing here tonight. Can I do a true confession?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, we'll put our priest collar on there, Bob.
You may remember I have a brand new Caprice that I was supposed to take out to VSC. Didn't get to go because of various reasons. And I just got a chance to fly it about a week ago. And it had no line tension. And I moved the lead outs back. I put in motor offset. I had no line tension. It's been a while since I flew. And then I checked the lap times. I had tension enough to do maneuvers and stuff, but just didn't have a lot of security. I was doing a 6-second lap.
Wow.
Didn't even know it.
Wow.
I brought it up to about a 5.2, and man, it's got tension to spare now.
Yes, I bet. Wow,
Really
6 seconds. That's pretty impressive.
Well, it's pretty dumb that I didn't feel it was going that slow.
Yeah, but you still able to do the whole pattern at 6 seconds?
I didn't do the whole pattern, but I could, I could do maneuvers and stuff, but it just, I wanted more tension, and I bumped it up to about a 5.2, 5.15. Whew, I don't know.
It was a pretty calm, was it, Bob? Pretty calm day?
Yeah, it was a calm day. I usually go out on calm days for first trimming sessions to get the wing level and, get the the pitch CG correct or pitch balance point right. An airplane flies super. I mean, it's probably the best Caprice I've had. And it's the only electric one I've had. So that has a lot to do with it. But boy, I'll tell you, when you haven't flown for a while and you think you're doing the right lap time and you check it and you're doing a 6-second lap time, it's a wake-up call.
Yes. I think, don't take this wrong, but I'm thinking as we get older, we can process information only so fast. So a 6-second lap time does feel like a 5.2.
Yeah, it might be it.
Because our brain is, that feels about right.
But when I got it up to 5.1552, it wasn't fast. It was the right speed.
All right, good.
But
I'm glad to hear that. That's good news.
Yeah, so always check your
5.1 to 5.2 is
you're
too
out flying,
fast.
check your lap times because I never do. I mean, I always fly by feel. But now I actually put a stopwatch on my box for the first time in years. So,
Charles,
Bob, what is the name of that plane?
what's that?
What is the name of the plane? I'm looking at built-in plans here, and I don't see it.
Acro.
It's called a Park Cat.
Park Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Charles, your comment about as you get older, you're not thinking as fast. It kind of reminds me of an old Far Side cartoon with little Jimmy in class raises his hand and said, "Teacher, can I be excused? My brain is full."
I don't know.
Okay.
I find as I get older and go slower, Einstein was right. Time speeds up.
Yeah.
Very good. So Howard, how was flying at Circle One? How was it today?
Great. Weather was excellent. You got just at sundown, it went calm, so I quit with one battery left.
Now, did Randy get a chance to fly?
Oh, he flew all day. He flew a lot.
What was Randy flying? What plane was he flying?
Vector 40.
Okay.
It was kind of interesting. He had some troubles with it. I called Brett Buck to consult. It needed its lead outs moved back. I figured it needed its lead outs moved. I didn't know which way. Randy guessed back, and that was correct. And as he moved him back, the controls got stiffer. He looked inside the wing, and the front lead out was bent quite a bit because the cutout in the rib was inadequate. So he got in there and cut the ribs out, and then he had this pitch oscillation when he pulled out of maneuvers, and that went away after he got his lead outs free. And too much friction in there. So we took a warp out, and all in all, got the thing pretty well trimmed through. Not much help from me. But.
Who is this now? Randy who?
Randy Ling, local guy.
Oh, okay.
Is he fly expert or advanced? The name sounds familiar. I'm trying to remember.
I don't know.
Guys, I'm gonna have to jump. I gotta go dog sit. My dog, as most of you know, had an operation, and I gotta go make sure she's okay. So
okay. Hey, thanks for coming in, Bob. Really appreciate it.
Good
night.
Take care, Bob.
Good night. Cheers.
Take care, Bob. Good to see you.
Charles.
Yeah.
I feel a bit like a steam locomotive nut in a diesel electric meeting. Do any of you guys fly real engines?
Yes, I flew a real engine today. I flew my Talon with a Brodak 40, and pretty nice. I actually bought the Brodak 40 a couple of years ago. I broke it in according to the directions that was provided in the box, So this is the first plane it's been in, and very nice running motor. I'm really really tickled. It's a really nice motor. I mean, I was kind of enamored with the OS Max 35S, but the Brodak 40 is a really nice motor.
Well, that's good to hear because I'm getting 2 of them in a couple of weeks.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, it's a good motor, and the plane is. I was trying to find a picture of it. I thought I had the picture on my phone, but I don't have it on my computer. But I haven't done a whole lot yet. I haven't done the full pattern. But tomorrow I'm going to a fly-in, my first fly-in. I'm pretty excited about checking out a fly-in. I usually go to contests, and this is a fly-in tomorrow up in about a 2-hour drive. So Carl Reed, who's not in here tonight, he's probably resting. He's our driver. So it'll be Joe Mata, myself, and Carl. We're driving up to South El Monte tomorrow. And I'm taking basically a new airplane there. But since it's not a contest, I'm not going to feel any pressure. You know, I'll do what I feel comfortable doing with it.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to head off to Vancouver, and I've been putting it off for months. Everything keeps interfering. And do some flying with Chris Cox and the guys. And I've got a few airplanes waiting for me to bring home there. One's an Oriental with a Brodak 40 in it. Another's a Smoothie and another Flight Streak. I think it's got a Brodak 25 on it. So I might pick up another Vector 40 and a P40, but they're electric. They're electric, so I don't know if I feel good about that, but
you'll like it. It's
I'm
good.
just kidding. They don't have the power packages with them, but no big deal. So
I have a question from the chat box. Just a second. Rick Wallace is asking, where are you guys getting Depron foam? I can't find it anywhere.
I believe it's called Depron RC was the site I went to. And that. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
And Rick Wallace is a member of our Stunthangar YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Rick Wallace. Appreciate that. And Timothy DeBoard also is a member. Appreciate your memberships.
is that the same foam stuff that Flight Test uses on all the airplanes?
No.
Okay.
Depron is completely different stuff.
Has anybody used Herex from Germany?
Herex.
No. Website rcdepron.com.
Thank you, Ed.
Well,
is that the stuff, Howard, that Kestis uses?
Possibly. Casminato used it, I think. But ask him, what foam is that in there? He said green stuff from Germany. I think that's Herex.
What do you got there, Bob? Bob Gore showing us, is that your Oriental?
No, this is a little twister that I built a couple of years ago, and I decided I just wanted to build it, as they were designed. I didn't want to do fancier eyes or anything like that on it. And I put a OS LA 40 in it, and the plane flies very well, excepting when the motor quits, it does the nosedive. And I didn't want to add that much weight to the tail end of it, so I thought I'm going to put a lighter motor in there. And I measured the weight of the OS and the Brodak 40, and the OS weighed 8.8 ounces and the Brodak weighed 6.6 ounces.
Wow.
So I figured, well, that would help the cause. And when I pulled the OS out and put the Brodak in there, I was surprised that it fit. And even, the cutout for the fuel line and for the needle valve and over here, everything lines up, but the motor is shorter than the OS. I just cut the nose off and I'm going to recontour around here and redo the paint and put this little Brodak in there. So that's what I've been doing the last day or so.
That looks good. I even like the color scheme of your twister. Looks good, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I think it's, I think it's going to be a great little airplane, just, as designed. But need to get rid of that weight.
Yeah, that looks
That's
good.
what I'm doing for it. But I was just
I'd
amazed
heard that, I'd heard the Brodak 40 is pretty much a straight drop in for a Fox 35. Is that right?
I forget. I think the Fox is a little bit lighter, but
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
But the Fox, I think, is 6.2 or 6.4 ounces.
Sounds right. 664.
That's what I've been doing.
Very good. Well, thank you, Bob. Thank you for, bro. You really helped us out a lot tonight, Bob. Appreciate it with the demonstrations and the show and tells, and that's great. Thank you very much.
Oh, I've got something you might like to have a look at.
All right, let me make you big.
Yeah, I've been I haven't been able to fly very well. Oh, hang on, I'll just unplug it. I've been messing around refurbishing some of my older planes, and I won't tell you what this is. Just have a look. I got sick of them always turning out in blue or some fancy colour with stripes, so I did this a bit of a hack job.
All right. Oh wow, that looks pretty. What I saw. Wow, that looks pretty. I like that.
Oh, me, chrome wings. Yeah, sharp.
That is pretty.
I can't get the angle right. Hang on.
That's pretty, Jonathan. That is pretty. What are we looking at? What model is that?
Nobler, isn't it?
That's a Nobler, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's got those foam ribs that I make out of the supermarket meat trays before they're used.
Oh,
That's right. That is, how much does that plane weigh?
I can't remember offhand. I've got to weigh it again because it's had a bit of work done, but it's still gassing off. It's still pretty fresh, but it'll probably, I think from memory, it was about 50, about 52 or something.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still fly good at that weight.
Yeah, well, they handle the wind well.
Yeah.
What do you have in the nose?
Hey?
What do you have for an engine in it?
An OS 35 S, what is it? SF.
FP.
Is it? Yeah.
FP.
Yeah. Sorry. FP. Yeah.
Those are nice motors.
A lot of torque. Yeah, good motor.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you for sharing.
So that's what I've been doing. And
And
we're in
got
for
a,
another. I
What?
was just going to say there won't be much flying this week either with the guys because I'm looking outside. We've got another remnants of another cyclone coming down from Coral Sea on its way. It's going to start kicking ass here tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Oh, we've had about 3 or 4 of them, one after the other. The last one was a real doozy. Looked a bit like some of the stuff you guys get when you get them coming up through the Gulf there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, made a hell of a mess. Anyway, that's me.
Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Jonathan. Appreciate it. Matter of fact, we got a super chat from Rick Wallace. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And I'm going to end the live stream. We're at straight up 9 o'clock out here, and it's midnight back east. I want to thank everybody for coming in. It's been a show. The time went fast, so good show. Really appreciate it. So we've had as many as at the height of our attendance, we had 37 people in our audience, and we have 28 likes, and we got $10 in super chat. No new members, but hopefully that'll be fixed the next show. But thank you very much for tuning in. So until then, hopefully next week or Monday, I'll have a chance to tell you about what happened at the fly-in. Hopefully give a good report on that. And hopefully you have a chance to go do some flying yourself this weekend or do something in your shop and come back Monday and tell us all about it. So until then, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you very much.